Just a short walk downstream from the active environment of the Central Arroyo is the historic Colorado Street Bridge. It represents a transition into the naturalized landscape of the lower Arroyo.
Here we are in the middle of a big city with concrete and buildings all around, and yet if you stand in this spot and you rotate around and look, you just see a natural setting. And to have a natural setting park in the middle of a big urban area is a really cool thing.
You won't have to look far beyond the tree canopy and native plants to see activities of precision and finesse being perfected.
One more time. 1, 2, 3. In many ways, it's similar to Tai Chi, it's similar to dance, it's similar to yoga. It's a discipline of body position. And if you learn the body positions, the arrow has no choice but to go to the right place.
While you can sharpen your mind and body on one side of the arroyo, you can relax them on the other.
The places where you go fishing almost always are beautiful and relaxing and peaceful, and there's something about it. I think it feeds my soul.
How to fish the fly to make sure that you get the best opportunity to get the hit and catch the fish.
In the springtime, there's a species of frog around here, or toad around here, and the tadpoles are in here, and the kids are chasing the tadpoles and everything, and people have their dogs and running the dogs, but it's just I enjoy the children and how much fun they have. And then when we do have them, it's fun watching when parents actually bring the children down to either bring a little inexpensive spinning gear, or they come down and teach them how to fly cast and everything, and just to see how much fun they're having. I think that's great. If you look, there's a really fantastic mix of trees, and if you're into subtleties, all you need to do is look down the arroyo and the different colors of green, the different subtle variations in the green is absolutely fantastic.
At the casting pond, one can come to share stories of the one that got away, or come to the casting pond simply to get away. Managing the stream in a densely populated urban area has included restoring altered landscapes.
The diversion stream, that was actually a project that was a mitigation project from BFI that for the expansion of the Sunshine Canyon landfill. And for mitigation, they were required to create riparian area someplace else. But as the water comes through the channel, the concrete channel, there's gates on either side that diverts the water through the gates and into these, what they call low flow, controlled flow stream. So actually a riparian corridor was created on either side of the concrete channel. And then the water goes through these streams and then dumps back into the channel.
That water is taken and travels through the braided stream, is allowed to percolate through the area of the lower arroyo and supports the plant life.
Riparian area, riparian provides habitat for riparian vegetation and wildlife without and still retaining the concrete channel for flood control purposes.
It emulates what was historically in the lower arroyo. It's been touted by the regulatory agency, specifically Fish and Game, as a model and a good example of a successful restoration. The experience is much more positive because of the restoration. Just of years of growth on the overstory, the tree canopy, as well as the understory is pretty remarkable. So it makes for a wonderful hiking experience for the park users. So it's, as I say, it's made it very, very popular.
The most recent project was right here in the Lower Arroyo in the archery range area, where we restored 12 acres of natural habitat. We planted 4,500 native plants, over 50 different species. A lot of non-native plants have become established here, and the non-native plants and invasive, and by that word you can tell invasive means they take over the native plants. The problem with that is the wildlife really don't use the non-native invasive plants. The habitat for wildlife, the native wildlife use native plants for food, shelter, nesting places, and the non-native plants don't provide that to wildlife. So it's important to maintain the natural area of the whole watershed, not just within Pasadena, but the Arroyo Seco watershed, to remove the invasive plants, non-native plants, and to restore with native plants to be able to bring back the ecosystem and provide habitat in the watershed.
It's an ongoing challenge to balance the biodiversity of both the plant and animal habitat with the realities of urbanization in a city like Pasadena, namely the fact that there is a large population and lots of development around the whole perimeter of the Arroyo Seco. The city has realized that the Arroyo Seco is really a living laboratory for the community and an opportunity for the people of Pasadena to experience and see nature happening at its fingertips. So we've provided access into the Arroyo Seco. Our restoration efforts are targeted at mitigating those areas that have suffered degradation and negative impact because of development over the years, so that future generations can see an even better, an even more beautiful, an even more ecologically rich arroyo than exists today.
The range of activities that people have been able to enjoy here, and that in itself, I think, is unique and appealing. Hikers that we've talked about, bird watchers, the summer camp people, the baseball leagues, the touch football leagues, disc golfers, and the fact that the park has been flexible enough to have all of those activities work in concert, I believe is a model for anything that we want to do in the future.
This arroyo, as you know, goes down and links with the Los Angeles River. To the north, it links with the San Gabriel Mountains and trails and areas that we cherish because they are close to us as part of the natural world. And so this arroyo is a kind of conduit for our thinking and also for the environmental awareness that is growing very strongly in our area. So we must cherish our arroyo and take care of it.
Responsible use of the parkland can assure that others may continue to enjoy it for generations to come.
Please use the receptacles. Please dispose of litter in the proper way. No matter what the animal is, picking up after your animal to ensure that that waste isn't making its way into the waterway is extremely important as well.
I think one of the most appealing things, of course, is the proximity. I mean, in a sense, it's Pasadena's Central Park. New Yorkers love Central Park because it's right there and you're in nature and out of the city. And it's the same thing here. It's so close and it's reachable by anyone.
Whether you're a casual visitor or a frequent user, the Arroyo Seco is a park for all people.
Discover the arroyo. Go take a hike in the arroyo and try to find the fish and try to find the frogs and the ducks that are in the stream, and learn a little bit about the birds and the nature that really make up the Arroyo Seco.